Right, this is about take 6 of the rear window install. So I think I've finally come up with a reasonable step-by-step how to do these. And the first note is that you cannot install the frame and then install the glass on the rear window like you can the front. Totally different process. Similar, but different. So the first thing to do is make some insulators up if yours have rotted away, and I'd almost guarantee they have. Second thing is we're going to put the window into the door. Now I'm going to try and do this one-handed, and that's pretty stupid of me, I'm sure, but anyway. Put the camera down. Open the door. Now, I've put the curtain in, or the, whatever they call it, I keep forgetting the name of this belt, whatever it is, the outer belt. The rear window is installed without the frame. Critical, without the frame. So you install that, put your insulators on, and I've just made them up out of double-sided tape, and we're just going to put the window in, and you'll notice it goes in behind there as it's going, behind that rubber seal there as it's going in, which is one of the reasons why you can't do it with the frame in. Now, coming down here, trying not to scratch the window, you want to place it down inside the door like that, so it's just placed down. Be careful not to scratch the bloody window on these sharp edges of this actuator. Oh, use your knee pads, Blue, you moron. That's where you have the thing. Okay, so now with the door down deep into the glass down deep into the door, there's a little gap here. That's an interesting gap. We need to use that gap. So now with our frame with the thin Bailey channeling fitted, so you'll get 2 pieces of Bailey channel with your Rare Spares rubber kit, or whatever brand you've used. I'm sure you'll get 2. The thin one is only for this rear section, has no other place. Now, don't scratch the Fairlane next door, but you feed this in probably going to have to use my other hand, but effectively you get it in down here. Now I'll need to move that glass with my other hand, so I need my other hand back, so I'll just drop the camera and I'll come back to it. Okay, cool, so we're still recording. So I've just got it down past, and you can see where it's just past the glass. That focus down there. Now I did use my other hand thumb just to push the back of that glass away. You obviously need to turn it because the flange sits against that hole there. You need to drop it down below that hole and then come back up, squeeze it in, and we'll put that top screw in. So we'll do that next. Righto, so glass, again, ad nauseum, in the bottom of the door, so you can see the glass there, and the frame is now in. And what we do, or I do, is use a bit of flexibility in this to push it back. Put some light on the door. We've got the front Bailey channeling in, and frankly you can feel free go ahead and tighten that up as well. There's no reason for that to be loose. Not sure what I did here. No, I've actually done it. Can't remember what was that, because I've had quite a few goes at working this out. So this is just my take. I didn't like what was in the book. I wasn't happy with it. So what I'm going to do now, again, I've got to stop filming, but I'm going to feed it into this front channel. Yeah, once it's in that front channel, we'll just hold it forward into the front channel, and then we'll come back and using 2 hands, we will get the rear section into this Bailey channeling and then maneuver that into position where the hole lines up with the bolt hole. Now I need to push this up a little bit. I've got the screw in, but it still needs to come up a little bit, so I might get a screwdriver and a lever. That's not ideal, but I might do that now actually. Just put a bit of upward pressure on it. That's as high as she wants to go. Oh, that's come up a bit. It's still going. Yep. See, the screw's gone proud now. Just want to get that up. Cool. Right, so then push that back out of the way. That'll give us just enough. And let me tell you, it's only just enough real estate to get that rear surface of the glass into this Bailey channeling. It's a tight fit. Just be aware in advance. So that's what we're going to do now. Yeah, one more thing. So install your rail, which we've got to a position where we're comfortable to fit it up, and then insert your plugs. I'll just put the camera down for a second. There's one. Sorry about that. One of those things there. We can let go now really, and then you insert these plugs until they're flush, and then we go fishing because I dropped one down there. And what I'll do is I'll bring the door down to a level. In fact, we'll do that now. It'll just pop on down, and we'll get it to a level down here where we can easily access to put the other plug in, and that'll maneuver down. A bit of fiddle. Once again, it's 2 hands, but you'll get the picture. You can see the holes nearly lined up, and we can insert it in there just to make your life easier, that's all. And once that's done, tighten everything up and you're done. There we are, glass is in, and we can slide it up and down in the channel, and a bit of manoeuvre can get that back to where I want it to be. But it popped back in and the hole's now lined up with the slot. And that's pretty much it. From there it's pretty self-explanatory. So, refresh, put your insulators on your glass. Put your glass in first, don't scratch it, be careful of it getting in, because it's yeah, you got to maneuver it, and a bit of the glass will go behind the rubber frame that sits behind that channel that's now there. Then you put your channel in, again, a bit of a 2-hand job, feeding it in to the rear of the door there where you have a little gap where the glass is. I mean, you can do it the other way. I've seen it done where you put all this in and then put the mechanism in. You could do that. You don't need to, is my point. That, you know, just because this is my way doesn't mean it's the right way. All it means is it worked for me. It might work for you. No guarantees. So now I'm going to put that bolt in and go ahead and just finish this door off, and that'll be both the rear doors done. Yeah, I hope this helps someone, because let me tell you, I had a few goes to work this out. The book was not overly helpful in its description. So I'm hoping this might be of better benefit to anyone that might be doing the rear glass on an XC Falcon sedan. One last little tip. It was a bit difficult getting this one in, holding it together and trying to get it in with my fingers, and I thought, yeah, what if I just put it on the end of that and it just push straight in. There you go. Got an Allen key and an extension. If you can get straight onto it, boom, just pops it in. That's a lot easier. I'm all for making things easier for myself than they would be otherwise. Done. We are done. So now it's got to do clearance on the battery's quite flat. But there we go, Mum. You beauty. All 4 power windows work. Look at that. So I've just got to do some, like I said, tidy up of this loom, because we've got central locking in this car as well. Blah, blah, blah. But there. Good little tip. Inserting the little lugs into the window. Use that. Righto. Time to move on to the center console. So straight off the bat, I unwrapped it. It's been wrapped up for 7.5 years. And I knew that the center console lid was not great, and I'd repaired it back in the day of Arrowlight and a screw and all sorts of things. But I just ordered a new one. Bugger it. It was never great in the first place. It's off an XB, I believe, this one. I'm trying to think when the hell I bought it or who I bought it off. Actually, it's probably Max, and it was in the Fairlane. There you go. So we got rid of the Fairlane in 1998. Now, I had the Fairlane since 1991, so would have been probably 93, 94. I bought this second hand. That's how long I've had the bloody thing. So long time ago. Easy 25 years. Longer. So she's all split in the guts, and you could repair it, but the sort of end we're going to with this car, that can just go to a, I don't know, over here for the time being. The boot is still in good nick. It looks filthy, but it's actually in good nick. There is a tiny little tear somewhere in it, in the back, but you'll never see that. I don't know if I'll get a new one. I just accidentally got one of these from a company. They sent me the wrong bit, and I sent one of these back, and now I'm thinking, well, maybe I'll buy one anyway. I'll see. Local rare spares dealer, yep, and get me one of those. I've paid for it. We'll have that next week. So, and it comes with those, the little plastic bits, and I think it even comes with the cable which goes into there, which stopped them breaking back in the day. So we're lucky with this console. It's rare to find one that's not broken in here, and this one's not. So that's why we're going to persevere with this. Now, she is busted up here. So last job for the day before we sit down and have a beer out in the beautiful sunshine, as winter's starting to finally wane. She's been a bloody cold one this year. I was going to try this stuff and see how it goes. It looks like it's black in colour already, hopefully. It may not be. But I don't mind if we mask over here and just spray this area, because to be frank, you can't see it in the car. So it doesn't matter. And there's my cruise control, because this car had cruise control, and it still has. That's where I put it, and it works really good. You know, put it in the 5th gear and boom, set your cruise. And the computer for the cruise also, there she is, sits there. I don't see the point in updating this thing, because it worked really good before. I'll assume it works really good now. So we'll test it once we get the console in. We'll put it in the 5th gear up on the hoist and just make sure A, we're getting power, and B, we can accelerate it. It probably won't. It'll probably sense an over acceleration. I doubt it'll engage, because that used to be the thing when you try and do it on the hoist, but it'll prove that it works, and that's all we need to do. Righto, so this is the centre console for the XC, and step A of a repair that I'm going to effect for the front of the console. In fact, I'm going to do a few things to this console, excuse me, just to strengthen it up. So this is actually an XB console, like I said before, and it's chunked away at the front here, which is not uncommon. Also, XBs must have originally had a bunch of attachment points, but the XC in my car only has 2. And I had this in a ZH Fairlane, and I'm pretty sure it had 4, I can't remember. So you can see, we've only got 2. So what I'm going to do is make a steel plate up It's about 10 centimeters by 25 this. Etch this up, probably this stuff, something similar, something pretty strong, and then G-clamp it in. If I can find deep enough G-clamps, I'll use a block of wood, whoever we need. And because this is cracked around the holes, particularly you can see it on the inside. So we're going to strengthen this whole section up and just make this a whole lot stronger. It might set up a couple more centimeters, but who cares? Doesn't millimeters, I beg your pardon, but it won't matter. And for this particular repair, we're going to go three tier. So this is just the first sort of sample, if we will. So I'll do one here. It's got to be shaped up yet. It's not right, but I might cut another one yet and have another crack at it. Probably will. And then we'll have another one here, because I don't have the machinery here to make a bend that's curved in, that's convex, is it? Concave, sorry. And then have a bend in it to come around, and then another bend to go down the back here, and this thing has cracked here. So we'll run another happy face down in here as well, and then again I'll metal set those into place, and hopefully we'll have a lot stronger attachment point for the front of the console as well. So, but I'm pretty happy with the first attempt. These little things, I used them for grinding metal before, and they weren't that effective. You go through them like you wouldn't believe. But for this, oh, fantastic. Really quick. So we're able to get that line straight away and blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to add piece number 2 now, and then we'll knock it off for the night, because we've got to go away. So there we go. Righto, so this is stage 2, 3, whatever you want to call it. Just some progression with the console repair. So what I've got, you can't really see the angles, maybe you can, but we can. 2 bits of metal, so that's just flat, and that just follows this lip. And it's all going to be trimmed down, although I probably won't bother trimming it down, there's no need, because you won't be able to see it, and it'll all be black, so who cares? It's more metal at the end of the day. And so you can see that sits pretty good. Bit of finessing, but pretty good. So now what we're going to do is just make a moon to come in here. And then we'll rough this surface up, and like I said, it'll all get clamped down, and we'll essentially remake the whole front of this. It'll be infinitely stronger, a lot easier to deal with, and you know, it should be future-proof, hopefully. So, like I said, now I just need a flat piece, and I've got to get that moon shape, so I'll use a piece of cardboard, attach it on, cut the moon out, and then we'll tack it together, panel beat it as required, and then we'll metal set it into place. And yeah, should be a good fix, hopefully. Righto, so that's the template knocked up. It's not pretty. Don't really care that it is or isn't, but that's going to be strong. So you can see we've got 3 layers, and that's just really going to beef up the front of this console and give it something to really hang on to. So what I'll do is I'll use metal set or whatever epoxy you've got to epoxy it on. We'll clamp it together. But before I do that, I'll drill it in a few places as well. So I'll drill the plastic and then drill the metal off the plastic. We don't want to melt the bloody thing. I'll give a bit more of a lineage just to tidy it up. It's got a bit too much of a lip there. Although I'm not really bothered by that either, to be honest with you. I might leave it there, it's extra material. Once it's painted up, you're not going to be able to tell. You won't be able to see it from inside the car. And it's going to just give us a lot more strength, which is the aim of this game. So that worked out all right. I'm not the prettiest fabricator in the world, but it'll do. So what I'm going to do now is spot it in a few places. I'm not going to weld the whole thing. There's just no need. Already with just those few tacks, it's going to be stronger than what the plastic would ever be anyway. So Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead, zot it together a little bit of a panel beat, and then we'll go ahead and get it attached in. My first template came off, but that's okay. It'll go back in. So that's that quick set, whatever it is. That's a good fill-in piece. That'll be fine. Once run more epoxy over that and clamp it all down, or I might just bin it and do it again, which is in fact what I'm going to do. Yeah, that'll do. And then for this bit, here's a bit I haven't cut down yet, but it's going to come out of this. And this is, like I said, that sill that I've been using for years. I bought a sill that was no good, so it's just been scrap metal, and it's been very, very handy for the repairs of the car over the years. But yeah, no, I think there's going to be, it's not a bad solution, just to beef up the front end of these consoles, because they are a known problem. Anyway, that's it. Righto, I'm getting the hurry up here. And that right, Tilda? Dad, come and throw the ball. What are you doing, Buffett? Hey, Humphrey, what are you doing? All right, give me a moment, you two. So, finished product. I'll just spot weld 50% of it. It's as strong as an ox. 3 holes, 1, 2, 3 in the front, reciprocating, and then one down here. There'll be another one here. So these are the 2 attachment points into the car chassis. I've had a look at the contour. It's good in where it goes in the car, so it's good. So now just some metal set A4, or like I said, any epoxy that you use. I just like this stuff. It's pretty strong. And I'll just paste it all through here. So the surface is pretty thick. Put this on, and then 3 bits of hardware, bolt it up, and that's it overnight. And apparently it's beer time, or let the puppies beat you up time, or whatever time it is in the afternoon. So I think that'll be a lot, well, I know it's going to be a lot better. I'm pretty confident this one. So that's a solution, I think. Anyone's got the same sort of problem with an XC or a B or an A, you probably do. That's my way out of it. It's a bit complicated, I suppose, making the metal up. And it's not super accurate, but it sits in pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. It's not bad. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll get the glue done, and I'll throw the ball. Righto, so that glued up well overnight. Again, I use metal set A4. I've used some quick set, the stuff here just for the fill-in bit. I'll flip back over, but that's strong. That's going to be a lot stronger mounting piece than 2 bits of plastic. So again, this is the base plate where the main mount of this console is. So I'll just cut this up and flip it over, and now we've got some mark points. So I'm going to use these 4 holes purely just to help clamp this assembly together, a little plate to the base. And I'll just flip this over. Oop, turn some light on. Blue is always helpful. And you'll see this thing's quite badly cracked. It doesn't look too bad on the outside. It's a nice thick bit of plastic. Oop, over. But if we have a look down in there, I think you can see quite clearly she's really quite badly shattered. So by putting that reinforcement plate on the back, we're going to help that. And then I'm going to fill this in with metal set into these cracks, just to strengthen this side of it as well. Like I said, it's very thick. And then really, it's going to get a piece of black carpet and put it down there, aka what you see in a new car. Bit of a solution for that one. That should do just fine. Probably upholsterer will supply that. So you won't see anything, but you know, need some sound deadening in that anyway. You don't want coins rattling around on that. So that should be the cure for the console. I've decided to order a new boot. I thought the old one was pretty good till I had a close look. And it's just got a little tear there where my thumb is. I think there's another one here. So, yeah, bin it, not going to bother. And here's the quick steel repair. Now, this stuff simply isn't as strong as this stuff, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have its application. I think I did this about half an hour ago, be right, and it's already gone set. So, in my experience is that if something sets quick, it's not as strong as something that sets long. Simple as that. But that's going to do the job here and give us what we need with respect to finish and just something else to put a hole through. So I've just got to work out exactly where this hole will be, and then we'll finish that off as well. I'll put the car on the hoist and see if I can find the original holes. Good luck, the gearbox is in the way, but anyway. And I think we'll sandblast the ashtray, why not? Righto, so we're all set. Got our plate, just scuffed it, just like treat it like paint, this stuff. So it's got plenty to adhere to, same with the base plate. So I'm just going to mix up some metal set now and spread all over and put in some hardware, clamp it down for a couple of days, and that'll be that. So these two holes here are the mount holes. That's those two there. I've checked them against the car, that's good. These four, I guess for an XB thing, they're not used on my car, but I'm going to use them, utilise them to help hold this in place and again add more strength. That's the whole aim of the game of what I'm doing here, is add more strength.